What's happening? What's going on? Shango Ray here. I think I will let. I got my two decks. I'm saying these are the two that kind of jumped out to me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and use me. All right. Why not? Oh, man, I'm hyped and I'm amped. Two heads in the building. How you feeling? What's happening? Don't remember to lick that like button. Cunniling the like button, all right? She loves it. Just like you do. Obviously, when done right. And in this case, hitting the like button is doing it right. Okay? The wise fox. You putting a smile on my face. I'm glad to see you. Let me see here. How you doing, wise fox? Ah, there I am. Just a second here. I have to put this pin this comment. You know how that goes. Where are we at? Butterfly. How you doing, Butterfly? Shout out to you. / rain. Oh, let me pin this shit. Pin. All right. Now we're where we at. Let's see where. 7 heads in the building. 4 of you are ass when it comes to the Cunniling game. Dot Joyner, what's happening? There we are. Move to San Diego. That's what I'm talking about. I heard that place is absolutely beautiful. It's like a little oasis. Come on now. The rest of you, stop holding out. It's just a like button. Put your tongue on it. She likes it. Miss BB. Oh, I totally found out. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to make. I had a little glitch in my system that a couple people put me up to, as far as my attention to. So I was trying to fix it over the last day, and I couldn't figure out because you have to know exactly what the problem is. And then Miss BB is one who wants to help me. So thank you on that. 9 heads in the building. 4. Only 4 believe in oral sex with the like button. Aha, there's another one. Okay, closet freak. I can log in as it. I know what it is though. I know what it is. I just got back, so I'm going to but I wanted to go live before it got too late. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is and I know how to fix it. I know how to fix it. Definitely. Yeah. Who said that? Okay, yeah. Hey, Frankie. What's up, Frank Evans? My favorite cop watcher and auditor and longtime brethren. Check out his channel if you like public auditing, where people watch the cops. We need people to watch the cops, 11 heads in here. 5 have cunniling the like button. Y'all must not have some happy sex lives at home if you ain't cunnilinging. Shit. God damn. There you go. An uno mas. 1 more. How about, now we just need about 6 more. Yeah. You can lurk. That's fine. Because usually there's I notice there is a certain percentage of lurkers. Voyeurs. Just like to watch. I guess. All right. Hey. No problem. But if you're going to lurk, at least lick. All right? Janet Ramirez. Bienvenidos. It's COVID. Hey, I don't want to hear that shit. That she's clean. That like button clean. She's on her hygiene. You know what I'm saying? Dot, join her. As far as services go, you could go to Shango Dash Ray and check it out. Hola from Denver. Shout out to Denver. Not the 19, not the 19, not the 9019. Yeah, it's the 9019. Well, we're just hours away before I have to close the door to the Power Cash Infusion Ritual. So I want to thank, first of all, everyone who's joined. And the ritual does go down on the 4th of July. So I know that could be problematic, but that's why we're going to be sending out the information tomorrow. Sorcerer's Corner members are going to get that information tomorrow. Tomorrow evening is going to be posted in the site, so you don't have to worry about missing any emails. It'll be right there for you. Everything's going to be right there for you. And those who just joined the ritual, I will be emailing you out as well the same information, so you can get prepared, because this is some major shit. Yo, come on now. 11 heads. Y'all just stingy, huh? Y'all the type of bitches that just be like, just eat my pussy, please. Just, please. I don't get it. I don't get it. There you go. At least someone, okay, yeah. Okay, you got to be coaxed. All right, that's fine. I don't mind going first. Shit. I don't mind going first. Showing and proving. Moving and grooving. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind it. Not at all. So real briefly though, if you've been under a fucking rock or up somebody's ass for all I know, Power Cash Infusion Ritual is now about, it's like actually 3 rituals. Okay, there's the actual Power Cash Infusion Ritual in which we are going to, this is about financial independence. Saying about just, oh, I want some money, or I found some money on the ground, or, you know, somebody that owed me money paid me or whatever. Those are all great. Those are awesome. Anytime some prosperity moves in, that's great, you know, but this is about financial independence. So be prepared after the ritual, because things are going to start moving you in that direction. You're stepping into that current. So if there are things that are not conducive to that current, just know it will be made known to you, you know, but so it's that ritual. There's the ritual for the money god. We are launching our own egregor. Okay. And for those of you who don't know what an egregor is, it is a group sustained thought form spirit entity, if you will. And the purpose is for obviously financial independence, and yes, even rapid cash infusions and all that. All things cash and money financial related. Okay. No more begging some other god. We're making our fucking own. And then after the 4th of July, there will be a follow-up, because you don't make an egregor just to use one time. That's like, why buy a Ferrari or a Lambo and you could drive it once? That don't make no fucking sense. An egregor is a tool. You understand? We're going to use that tool consistently. So we have a lot of things lined up for just that one egregor. Okay? So, but before the follow-up ritual, there's also going to be a Zoom call that I'm going to invite all ritual participants and, of course, all Sorcerer's Corner members to, so we can talk about the ritual. Even though I usually don't like talking about rituals after they're done, I like to forget about them, which we're going to kind of get into. That's the whole point of this piercing the veil shit. Well, it's not the whole point, but it's a part of. You know, you don't want to keep thinking about what you did. You know, how many of you have done rituals and shit, and then the next day at work or later on at work, you're like thinking about it. You're like, oh, my ritual. No, you don't want to think about it. You want to forget that shit. And I have another surprise, because I just do. I've been experimenting with a certain, it's kind of like an unknown technology, if you will. Are there certain tools we need for the ritual? That will all be told to principal philosophy. That will all be, that's a good question. That will all be revealed. At the very most, all you would need is, not even need, if you wanted to, if you can get a hold of a red, white, and blue candle, or a red candle, a white candle, and a blue candle, fine. A white candle's fine too. Just a white candle. It can be a little tiny tea candle. Okay. But the ritual itself is going to take about 10 minutes because I know 4th of July is busy. I'm also going to be doing the ritual several times during that day because I'm doing it in conjunction with my members, with my partners, with you, depending on also because the ritual is going to be strategically done at a particular time. Okay, so that's why I want to get all this information out tomorrow evening and July 2nd. So if anybody has anything, they can message me and we can discuss what we need to do as far as if there seems to be a problem. Okay, the most strategic time for this ritual. So it's like we're going to actually be doing it together at the same time. I'm going to make sure I do it at the same time as you. So if I'm going to be doing it several times. That's why I'm sure to make this motherfucker kind of short, you know? So in addition to that, I'm gifting all Sorcerer's Corner members. Of course, they're going to get that, you know? They're the creme de my creme. And all ritual participants, I've been working on a certain technology. It's still in the beta phase, okay? I call it the digital talisman, all right? And I'm going to get into that more as to how it came about. It came about in a meditation, actually. But how you can fucking use it, you know? And it's very simple. And you don't... we'll get into that shit, all right? But also, after we do all this shit, I will open it up if anybody has specific questions, okay? Because I know some of y'all, some of you, every time I come on here, a lot of times people want to ask questions, but you know, I'm reloaded. You know what I'm saying? I'm reloaded. So we're ready for all of that, okay? But I wanted to talk about this concept of piercing the veil. And it is one of the most intrinsic concepts, in my opinion, to any of this shit. And it is what we at the Sorcerer's Corner are all about. It's not just about singular events, although you can start to form your relationship with piercing through the veil by going after singularized things, whether they be small or big in your opinion, you know, because there's really no small or big as far as like intentions go. There's just, to you, it might seem like, man, this seemed like a big fucking job, or this is nothing, you know. So let me see here. I knew someone was going. Of course, it matters. Yeah, on the candles. Okay. No, it does not matter on the candles. It don't matter on the candles. Like it could be a little tiny tea candle. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some of you ladies have had your share of tiny tea candles too. You know. So you should be no stranger to it. All right. 11 heads in the building. Come on, just get 2 more swipes. Just like just 2 of them. Just make sure they're nice and slimy. On that like button. Yeah. So piercing the veil. We've all heard that term, right? Need like that, Dot. We've all heard that term. But what the fuck does that actually really mean? Because we hear information, maybe we get really jazzed about it and like, yeah. But then when it comes to actually applying it, especially with this, it's really, really hit or miss for many people. More miss than hit. Okay? And it deals with a lot of, well, I won't say it deals with a lot of concepts. It's been expressed a lot of different ways, but they're all saying the same thing. Okay? Hey, Prophetess Vance. I was hoping you showed up. How you doing, Prophetess Vance? I'll say it like this. The piercing the veil, to actually pierce the veil, you've all done it before. You've all done it before. Whether you've done it in a way that brings about results and things that you don't prefer or that you do is neither here nor there. The fact is, you have done it before. We've all done it before. I'm good, Prophetess Bez. Thank you. So with piercing the veil, we all know that. Hey, Carmen Webb. Welcome. We have one of our favorite Aussies in the house right now, Carmen Webb. Okay. We have all heard what is the smallest unit of matter that we know of, right? Now, I've heard other things. It's a quark, it's this, it's that. But let's just say it's an atom. Yes, Carmen. Favorite. It's an atom, right? And I remember in school, the icon of the atom was like this nucleus, and it had all these little electrons and protons like flying around it. We've all seen it, right? So, but in truth and in actuality, what I've discovered and what I've learned, because I don't have no super duper electronic microscope to do this shit, so I'm obviously taking somebody else's word, but an atom is comprised of mostly space, emptiness, right? This, you will find this type of formula in everything, just like you are more emptiness and space than you are matter. Yeah, I really sucked at math too, but just hold tight with me and you'll see what I'm about to say. It makes a whole lot of fucking sense. Because I'm not one, you start talking math, I go into trance. I should make hypnosis downloads where I just start doing math. That'll put half of you motherfuckers out. Get that glazed look in your eyes. Okay? But we've all seen the thing of the atom, right? Everyone has, right? But what happens is the atom, if you were to take the nucleus of the atom, right? And let's say the nucleus of the atom, the middle part, was a Volkswagen Beetle. I heard this is one of the dopest breakdowns I've ever heard. Dr. Joe Dispenza is the one who talked about this shit, who broke it down like this. The nucleus would be the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, okay? The protons and electrons that fly around it would be the size of peas, like the peas that you eat. The space around it in which these peas fly around this VFW would be 85,000 squared miles. So as you see, what we call matter is really not matter. Okay, it's obviously, yes, we can touch things, we can hold things, we can do all that shit, but the space, you look at music, I've talked about this billions of times. What makes music music is the space in between the sounds. I've also spoken about how at any given moment, no matter where you are, I don't care if you're at a concert, you can tune in to the backdrop of silence, which is the sound of space, right? And it's like from silence, all sound comes, just like from darkness, all light comes. Okay? So we're dealing with what we can effectively call nothingness. Okay? And we've all heard the term, out of nothing comes something. Another way it's been put, from the unseen comes the seen. All right? Now, most of our problems or challenges are because we are literally hypnotized by our everyday lives, by our habits, our emotions. And what ends up happening, as far as this magic shit goes, this is why it's fucking hard to change, right? Because we have these animals that we ride in called bodies, okay? And these bodies do produce their own wide array and plethora of drugs and chemicals and transmitters and hormones and all this other shit. All these different chemicals and transmitters and hormones, when influxed into the body, create, as you would put it, as a feeling. Better put, an emotion. Okay? Are we following? Are we following along here? Because trust me, I'm not the most, like, I'm not some super nerdy, geeky, Big Bang scientific person. You know, so when I read a lot of these things and they like, well, we're gonna give the reader a lot of scientific background, intellectual background, I start going into trance. So unless it's put in a way that I can get it, or I really gotta put effort in to get it, and then once I do get it, I can kind of like break it down simpler. Right? So what does this have to do with piercing the veil? It has everything to do with piercing the veil. Okay? Now, if this is that, you know what it actually looks like? What it was shown on this monitor, what it looks like? It doesn't look like it doesn't look like the ball with the electrons flying around it. It looks more like the ball, but with this force field coming out of it. It actually looks like an apple. The way the force comes out of it. Have you ever seen the planet and they show you like a diagram of how the Earth's magnetic field, if this is the Earth, the magnetic field goes out and then back in. So it goes out and back in, but in a 3D way, it looks like a fucking apple. Big Bird, Mickey Mouse. Yeah, exactly. It looks like an apple. That's what it really looks like. Right? So I noticed, and I know that I'm not the only one who shares these experiences. You probably learned about law of attraction, you probably learned about magic, you probably whatever. And you go to sit down, and you're like, you know what? Today's the day. I'm going to change shit. I'm going to do something, you know? So what's one of the first things that, I don't want to say it's common knowledge, but it kind of is in a way. But it's like, okay, we've all heard, no matter where you learned it from, it's about creating this visceral internal experience where you see, you can hear, feel. It's, you know, it's supposed to be, when you do it right, it is more real than when your eyes are open, than the experience you're probably having now with your eyes open. Okay? That's when you do it correctly. But let's kind of discuss what usually happens. So first of all, you go to sit down to meditate or visualize or do your ritual, right? Number one, if you haven't calmed your brain down, as well as you got to calm both your body, because your body will ramp up. It will start to hype up your brain, your mind. You know what I'm saying? And your mind. And your mind is in your brain and in your body. This intelligence that we call a mind, this consciousness that we call a mind, exists in our brain, in our body, and actually even beyond it. Okay? What happens is you go to sit down. Let's say there's a particular individualized occurrence or effect that you want to create. So let's discuss what happens usually, right? You know, first of all, that you're going to need a little bit of privacy. So you have some time alone. You go to sit down. You start maybe doing some breathing. You start trying to relax yourself. Maybe you listen to something, you know. And what ends up usually happening is your body, sometimes, because sometimes the thoughts you get are from your body. So if your body's used to being really tense and really stressed out, then when you go to actively start to relax or to relax on purpose, it's going to start to rebel against you. It's like a very rambunctious new pet or dog, right? You have to train the pet. Chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So usually though, we haven't trained it. So one of the things that happens is it starts it starts kind of having this rebellion because it's used of all these chemicals, from stress and all these other things that we may have been feeling throughout the day. Or maybe there's a particular situation going on that every time you just even think of that shit, it starts to vex you out. And or once you get started with that, then usually it's like a bunch of just thoughts start coming at you. And what should be a pleasurable, like I would say orgasmic, but that's not even doing it justice, euphoric experience that you're co-creating there ends up being usually something where the person ends up walking away feeling more disappointed. They don't believe they can do it. They believe it can be done. They believe that this person over here has probably done it, or you hear about these successful people saying, yeah, I seen it. I mean, it was real in my mind, like I knew this shit was going to happen, but as far as they go, they end up thinking, yeah, they can, but it's not for me, blah blah blah. And it usually turns out into be more disappointing, more frustrating, because you want to try and I know I got to get it in here, like or not even get it in here, but like just because wherever that is, whatever that is, it already does actually exist. So it's like we're just tuning into that, right? But what happens is we get hypnotized by our reality. Our reality consists of our environment, your place where you stay, where you work, the people in it, all the smells, scents that you may always experience on a day-to-day basis. That always puts you kind of like back into the reality, the current reality, if you will, as well, of course, as how you feel. How you feel. When you come home, sometimes you more than likely do the same thing as soon as you come home, like clockwork, pretty much. And if that's not the place where the clockwork hits, it hits in other ways. Like, it's clockwork all over the place, And I know because for certain things, it's like you kind of have to be regimented in order to keep going, Shaman 05. What's happening, brother? So in order to pierce the veil, we do needs to get out of the trap, if you will. I call it the trap because it seems like it can be a trap. Whatever your current circumstances is, whatever your current shit's going on, for many, many people. Oh, really? Somebody said, last time I've been here, I was 16. Hey, are you the one who was trying to get the chick in high school? I remember you. Or you wanted to ask her out on a date or something, to prom or some shit. Yeah, I remember you. I remember you. How you been? Yeah, you remember him too, huh? Probably. See? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, that's crazy. How you been? Good, good. Thank you. So, anyways, and what ends up happening though, when you get trapped, okay, is basically you just keep recreating the same shit. You just keep recreating the same shit. And it can leave somebody feeling very powerless, very frustrated, like I said, and hopeless. Like I don't even like the word hope, but to be without hope is pretty bad. It's just like, and so what ends up happening also is people don't even try to do that shit maybe they tried it once, and most of the time they were actually attempting to do it, to pierce the veil, to go into the nothingness so you can be everything and create everything that you want. Um, Most of the time, and I know because I was the same way. You know what I'm saying? Where like half the time you're spent wondering, am I doing the shit right? You're not even in state, in the right state of being. What is the state of being? Your thoughts and your emotions, you know? So, what kind of thoughts or emotions you having? We go through different states of beings, like all kinds in one day. You can maybe have this little sliver of time where, oh, you feel so expansive, anything's possible. I feel like, oh, my shit's, everything is as it should be, everything is on the way. And then you go back into the office, or you go home, and some shit happens, and bing, 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 you're back into, you didn't hold it, you know? A lot of this is a very active process. It's not just going to happen. I wish it did. I really wish it did, but it's not going to happen. It's not just going to happen. Let me correct myself. It does require cultivation, man. It does. Think about it. Your animal has been conditioned to be a certain way for fucking years. Do you expect it just to, like, in 1 second, like, change? So, piercing the veil, you've heard a lot of mystics. We have a shaman online here. He'd probably testify. You know, you've heard about this 0 point field or this space. You've heard a lot of people describe like they were everybody. They weren't just nobody. They were like everybody. Their consciousness could, like, it's like I was connected to area, like I live, and all this stuff usually cannot be explained with words. The words just do not do them justice, you know. But let's steer it a little bit more. You switch from math to farming. I went all over. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? You got to cultivate, though. It's true, though. And you know it. It's true. Like, as with anything, you have to cultivate. Because it's like you're not just going to automatically do it. You have too much reverse conditioning. You have too much conditioning. And of course, not to get political, but why do you think there's so much effort, concerted effort, into keeping you into some type of state of fear or whatever? Whatever one of these emotions that just has your body all like out of harmony. You know what I'm saying? It has your body just all over the place. Has you in your fight or flight mode, has you, all that shit. When you're in those modes, you can't really create. When you're relaxed, when you're actually kind of more playful, you open up room for inspiration to come through. And when you start, it's anybody who does any creative form of expression, whether it's, like I said, whether it's music, whether it's writing, it don't even have to be that. It could be painting. It could be, you could be a creative, I don't know, advertiser, anything creative. There's a certain feeling that comes with that. Like it's just moving through you. It's not you, actually. Yes, like flow state, 88 Furio. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's what they call a flow state, when you're able to, switch gears and get into that mode, But there is this space that is constant, ever existing, even right now, that all we need to necessarily do is to tap into that. Now, obviously, we can tap into that, and we can create, or tap into an elevated emotion, even if you take your time to get there, and then you sustain it, and then you have obviously your intention, whatever it is that you're trying to. Because think about it, back to math, you have waves, and then you have particles. You have like this realm that has all these possibilities and probabilities, what's more than likely to happen. And then you have the individual or isolated when the waves compress into matter. And then we call that an event, or we call that a thing. Something happened, something showed up. You know, anything could have showed up, but this is what showed up. You see what I mean? And depending on, what you've been doing, if you've been sitting around worried about shit. I was talking with my sister the other day, and we were talking about how it's funny because, and maybe you can relate to this. Maybe sometimes you get like one of these weird thoughts, right? Like, what if this happens? Or just an example, right? Let's say you're like, you notice maybe one of your tires is kind of bald, right? You're like, wouldn't that suck if I got a flat tire? And that's all you really kind of thought about it like that. But then you went off to something else. A day or two later, your ass get a fucking flat tire. Just like that. And I was talking with her because we were kind of like reverse engineering certain things or whatever. Because like I'm like really on this shit. Like I guess you could say in a scientific way, my own little scientific way. But that's also happened too with other things that I consider to be good. Or also, I'd be like, what if this bad bitch, I just run into this bad bitch or whatever, bang, or frivolous shit, just like things that to me really they don't mean anything either way. And either it will happen if it's an event or an occurrence, or if it's a thing. Maybe I thought of something that I haven't thought of in fucking forever. And then I end up hearing something, or like if it's a song, I end up fucking hearing it somehow. A car drives by playing that song, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what, mathematically speaking, I'm gonna do some hypnosis on Miss BB. That shit would be like 1 out of probably a billion, at least a couple hundred mil, at least, But I'm sure that each and every one of you have had similar experiences. What's going on, MBE? The Melvin Brown experience. So part of what we're going to be doing and exploring and experimenting with, and I have some ideas that I would like to do with as far as like, at the source was going, yeah, I'm going to hypnotize. That's right. Maybe you need to be hypnotized. You're already hypnotized. We need to put you in another trance, another kind, But I think this is something that needs to be explored, especially on a personal level. Yeah. I seen, there was somebody else, they did this, they're doing this kind of challenge thing, like trying to manifest certain things every day. I think her name, what's her name? Fuck. I cannot remember at the moment, and I don't want to misquote. But I'm actually going to be interviewing her soon. So when I do, I just want to go. I've been there, and she finally let me slide in home run now. Leave it to MB to come with some shit. About damn time. Hey, well, you know what? Congratulations, player. Congratulations. Now touch the back of that one time for me. Yes, she is. 88 Furio. I think. I don't know where we might be having 3, 4, 5 different conversations here. Anyways, but the point is to get familiar with the process, because it really doesn't fucking matter what it is that you're doing. It's the process of being able to, and Dr. Joe Dispenza describes it as becoming nobody, no thing, in no time. And therefore you can be anybody, anything, anytime, which is true. So in this act of creation or actively creating things, whether you want to title it as magic or whatever, the piercing the veil part, because we've all heard this shit like all this is an illusion, you know, all that other shit. And it is true, but it is a very consistent illusion. You know, just because it's an illusion don't mean I'm gonna go walk out in traffic in front of a Mack truck. I would have the illusion of being fucking splattered everywhere. You know, so you won't see Shango doing that shit anytime soon. You know, but the piercing the veil part, woo woo, what's happening? Is being able to get out of this fucking hypnotic trance, the hypnotic trance of your current circumstances, the hypnotic trance of who the fuck you think you are right now, because you're not who you think you are. The trance of your environment and whatever's going on, your situation, whatever that is, the trance of who you think you are, including what you think you can do and what you think you can't, your limitations. And all of those things play a part, and they keep, because what it ends up, like I said, it ends up wanting to just recreate itself. You end up wanting to create, us as humans, we like the familiar, man. We like the familiar, even if we don't enjoy the familiar, even if the familiar hurts, even if it's painful, we love it. You know what I'm saying? So, and so yeah, that's what's going on. It's about getting past all of this. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, but all roads end the same place. Okay? So I'm making it my mission, and because it's actually the thing I'm most excited about, is just because this is what, and this is where all the all like the divine downloads, the channel, like, I mean, the surreal experiences, like the whole shabizzy bang, things that you cannot even be described that awaits you. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is what is been described as piercing the veil, because we're all in a hypnotic trance. The veil is this hypnotic trance of ours. Now, it's different for each and every one of us, but we also have one collectively. You know, it's the same trance that tells you that you're a separate person over there watching this separate person over here. You know, but there's layers to this shit. And as it relates to you getting what it is that, creating what the fuck you choose. You know what I'm saying? Creating what you choose. So, you know, that's going to be the main focus, and that's what must be done. You got to be able to get out of these trances. Now, how do you do that? Like I said, there's a ton of different ways. You know, why do you think ritual magic even exists? It's for that. You know, so you don't know what is, Miss BB. Yeah. So there it is, you know what I'm saying? So it's about getting past and out of this hypnotic trance. Now, let me just tell you something for all you, whatever. You're always in some form of a trance. For everything, it's a trance. Everything is trance related. You know what I'm saying? If you're cooking, that's a trance. If you're going to have sex, that's a trance. You're going to work out, that's a trance. If you're at work and you go into your usual spiel of looking busy, the art of the art of working without working, you know, that's a trance. All of it. You're in school, you go in trance. I'm in class, I'm in my class trance. Lunch, I'm in my lunch trance, and so forth. Okay? So ritual magic is a powerful tool for that. Now, what I'm going to be giving all ritual participants as just another consolation gift is I'm working on something I call a digital talisman. Now, we have subliminal incantations, right, that you can listen to, but you're not listening to them. It's just a sound. to whereas you almost don't hear it, but your subconscious mind hears it. And that's how it can begin to affect change for you and within you. A digital talisman is different. First of all, what is a talisman? This could be considered a talisman. Um, you can write certain sigils and things on a piece of paper. That could be a talisman. Okay, but a digital talisman is something that I've been experimenting with. And like I said, this is still in the beta zone. All right. But the basic gist of it would be you can simply, like, you put your picture and maybe some money. If you have a little speaker, if you got something, you don't have to even be there. Okay. The point is not to even be aware of it. When you're not aware of it, it's like shit just collapses. Like they say, if you go to the store, does your house disappear because you're not there observing it? Or is it still there? And the truth, to be honest, we'll never actually know, because you can only know what you know, as far as when you're in this individualized perspective of being a singular person. Okay. But the way that this digital talisman works, or is designed to work anyways, like I said, I'm beta testing it, is, for example, I could just better explain it to you than anything. James, what's up? I could just explain it to you. Is that it'd be something like, okay, let's say I'm going out for a while. So I want to work with the nothingness and with the emptiness, with that quantum realm, the realm of all yet nothing. Listen, if you can put a consciousness, a human consciousness, in a computer, then I believe that this can work. Okay. So I don't have to be there. It's not something that I have to be hearing or even, just in the background or anything. It's like my attention is on it when I set it up. Okay. That's the induction. That's the injection. All right. But now I go to the store, or I'm going out with friends, or I'm doing some shit. I'm not going to be back for hours. And I'm just leaving this digital talisman to work and do what it's doing. Because now that I've taken my attention off of it, and the theory, well, I'll say it like this. The model is that this shit disappears and goes into the quantum realm. Okay? Once I squirt my shit into this quantum realm, okay, she's going to spread her creamy thighs at some point in time, which I won't know, at some place in time that I won't know, and in a way in which I won't know. But she's going to gush all over, okay? That's the theory. Simplified, all right? What's going on? I cannot get in here. So anyways, that's what we got going on, but that's why piercing the veil is so important. It's also being able to see through the illusionary lies and things meant to keep you in place, thinking that you just, this is just life and this is just the way it goes. And, people in that state of being, in that state of mind, are easily influenced, manipulated, and controlled. Jasmine Edwards, what's popping? So that's what we got there. But that's why it's so important. And like I said, you can get past the veil. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Okay. If you can get relaxed enough to where you can visualize, and not just visualize, because I'm doing more than just seeing. I'm visualizing right now. So are you. But you can also hear everything. You have this sense of spatial, that you're in a room somewhere, my hand's over here, you fall asleep. Well, some of that is you also might be doing it. You also might be doing it. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna be real with you. I know why you probably fall asleep, because you have so much stress throughout the day that when you finally actually do relax and you are able to start relaxing progressively, boom, you're out of here. So now the internet's okay, kind of acting up here. I was trying to, yeah. Do you think the government? Of course, the government. I don't think. I know. I mean, we have these talismans in our pocket we call money that are sigiled the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we all see, we all see it, we all use it. Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. The government surely does use rituals. Yeah, man, my shit's buffering like a motherfucker. I was gonna do some PayPal means, see if anybody had some some questions, but I don't know how I'm gonna access my PayPal. I can't do it on my phone because I'm using my phone, Let me see. That's a good question, though, Fiora. Yes, they do. Of course they do. And they like to get us when we're real young. So it starts in school, obviously. That's like indoctrination. School is indoctrination for a lot of shit. It's not just teaching you math and shit. It's not like they care so much about you. They want you so prepared for the future. No. And actually, academically, school wise, if we're talking just public school or school, is designed basically to make workers, not bosses. So go figure. Can we please get some motherfucking internet here? Shit. So, anyways, yeah. Any questions about what I've said? If I confused you, if I hypnotized you correctly, any of that? But yeah. No, we are just gonna get this thing going. It's like acting like a little biatch right now. Like the Wi-Fi is really fucked up right now. So I'm just trying to get this thing working real quick while still chopping it up. Uh, hit it. Yeah, right. That's always that. Wasn't that always the solution for everything? Just no, sir. 88 Furio. No. Single as a Pringle. Okay. I don't even know how that fucking makes sense. Maybe you're just having one. I don't know. But I'm that one, if that's the case. Yeah. Come on, man. All right, so yeah, it looks like we may not. But anyways, yeah, let me see. Try this. I'm over here doing fucking tech work and shit. Oh Lord. Yeah, man. It just rhymes. That's like, shit. Rhymes and I'm on time. Hey, Deaconess Smacky, what's going on? How are you? We had some technical faux pas here. Looks like the retrograde shadows still wants to fucking act up. I'm, it makes me that much better of a person to hear that. So yeah. Yeah, we're having some problems. So you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try and situate this shit. But before I do that, any questions, comments, observations, about this whole piercing the veil, getting through this veil of illusions that seem to that keep us trapped in whatever situation, keep us trapped in being the same person, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same shit, creating the same shit that makes us think the same thoughts, that makes us feel the same shit, makes us create more shit. Because what I was going to do is I'll come back on, but I need to get this internet shit situated. Of course it is. Good question, 88 Euro. Is the third eye involved? It is. It is definitely there. I need a lot of help with this piercing. Just make sure it don't get infected, all right? You just make sure it don't get infected. So I'd say, you know what? Maybe I should just. Okay, look, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna conclude this for now. Join the Power Cash Ritual. I'm gonna actually leave it open till 3:30 this morning. So maybe 2-3 hours past the shutdown time. That is it. That is it. Okay? There's a couple more spaces left. Get in while you can fit in. Join the Sorcerer's Corner membership. You don't have to worry about it. You'll already be in. Basically, I can't automatically put somebody in a ritual. But Sorcerer's Corner members have the ability to say, like, well, any of the upcoming public rituals, I want in that one. Okay, there you go. You know, the link is in the description box. .joiner. Thank you, Prophetess Vance. So I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna conclude this. I'm gonna get my internet going so I can come back on here and we can do some card pulls. All right. So I mean, not even card pulls. Excuse me. So I can answer your specific individual questions. My internet was acting up when I was trying to get it. Was it? You can message me and let me know what you experienced. I pretty much, yeah, there's two individuals, Miss BB being one of them. I had a problem that experienced some problem with the login. So I had to go in there and I was like figuring some shit out. Because it's a learning curve for me. I've never done anything like that, constructed a membership site or anything before. So, you know, Papa Shanguito, I'm always headed into the unknown. Because that's where the good shit is. But being that I'm heading into the unknown means I'm going to hit things that I don't fucking know. So I got to learn. Why, thank you, Miss BB. I appreciate it. So, yeah. So let me get this situated. I'm going to be right back on. I'm going to try again. All right. Listen, Deaconess Smacky. When you do, if you're doing it over your phone, if it shows you something in particular, screenshot it and send it to me. This is how I was able to, I haven't yet fixed it yet, but I know exactly what I need to do now. And it's because of like Miss BB and our other Sorcerer's Corner member that he told me, he was like, yeah, so he gave me a lot of, he turned the light bulbs on for me. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that when you click this and then, okay, so now I can figure it out. I can start really troubleshooting it. Okay. And it's on my end. It's not on the platform that is hosting my site. It's on my end. So it's something that I did. And being that it's a new program, new everything, there's like learning curves and shit. It was real frustrating at first, just trying to do the simplest fucking thing, you know. Okay, well, you can screen capture on a laptop too, I believe. Or just let me know what you see and what happens, okay? So, I don't know if you, yeah, I haven't, yeah, just let me know what happens. Let me know what happens. Anyways, I'm going to conclude this. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll come talk about specific questions. So if you have certain questions that you want answered, all right, want to dip into the quantum realm and see what's happening. All right. We're going to check it out. Okay. So I'll be right back in 2 and 2. All right. Fuck it.